late today, but what else is new? I have solved a technology question that has been bedeviling me, which is to say, right now, as I record this, I have it set to use my webcam, but you may notice if you are a regular viewer of these that the viewpoint is further back than it is, I guess, typically. Sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's a little closer up and a little bit brighter, and I've sometimes wondered about that because I didn't tell it to do either one of those things, and so why is it that it would sometimes be one way and sometimes the other way? Good morning, those of you joining. So why would my camera settings be different in Facebook Live, which doesn't even give me the opportunity to set my camera settings? Well, I have concluded that the distinction is that in my video broadcasting software, XSplit, which I use when I am Twitch streaming, I have camera settings that are applied to the camera for that purpose. When I am recording something for Twitch and I've had that software open and it makes those settings, and then I go to do a Facebook Live after that, it uses those settings, and that's where it's closer up, and that's what I usually actually want it to do. But when I have freshly rebooted the computer and I'm doing a Facebook Live before having ever run the XSplit software, it uses the default settings like it's doing now. So it's nice to have finally solved that particular question, but it just has me thinking about technology woes, man, you know, because it's one of those things where there might be something that we have never even considered needing or wanting to do before. But then there's some new program or technology tool or, you know, electronics gadget that comes out and gives us the opportunity to do something that we've never even considered before. But have you ever noticed in those situations where we're trying to use this brand new thing to do something that was previously impossible, boy, it better work, right? Because if it just doesn't work at all, obviously you dismiss it. If it works perfectly, you immediately start taking it for granted. But things very rarely work perfectly when they're first starting out, right? I mean, frankly, things very rarely work perfectly even when it's time-tested, thousands of years old technology. It's just usually in, you know, things with an established infrastructure, you try to have, you know, built-in safeguards to, you know, cover those gaps. But when something works, even let's say 95% as it is supposed to, we can find ourselves infuriated by that 5% of the time when it's not working correctly, even though it was only a short time ago that you didn't have the opportunity to do it at all. It's kind of, you know, the idea with with your cell phone, right? It's like, oh gosh, you got this miracle of technology in your pocket that lets you access the, you know, the entire universe of human knowledge at your fingertips for what is a, relatively speaking, small cost. But boy, sometimes you can't get a signal. It just makes us so mad. You know, that sort of thing. And so it's just kind of like, I was thinking about this, especially in context with Facebook Live yesterday, because for the last 2 days running, my workflow wherein I broadcast live with Facebook Live, and I am able to interact with the lovely people who watch me here on Facebook Live. Hello, hello. And then I export the video and post it to YouTube, which is what I used to do before starting with Facebook Live. Is I would just record locally on my computer and then just post it to YouTube and then my website, which was frankly easier, but posting a YouTube link on Facebook doesn't, generally speaking, get you very much, attention. Not that I have huge audience or anything with these things, but that's fine. But the point is that this Facebook Live gives me a little bit more, people checking it out, checking stuff out. Thanks. You have a great day too, Gary. But the last 2 days, when I export the video, it has these occasional bits where it's just got this weird artifacting. And there's nothing I can do about it because it was recorded live and the video is what it is. And I have no idea why it has that artifacting in it. And I can't fix it. So I post it on YouTube and then people tell me that, yeah, it has these weird artifacting things. And it's like, yeah, I know, I wish I knew how to fix it. But my alternative is to redo the entire workflow, I guess. And that redoing would probably just mean not doing it on Facebook Live. But then I don't want to really actually make that decision. And it's just becomes a whole thing. And by the way, I am not criticizing anyone who's let me know that there's a problem, because sometimes it is actually something I could do something about. Like, whoops, I forgot to turn my mixer on, so there's no sound. That thing, that has happened. So I'm not telling you not to tell me when those things happen, but it does, depending on what the actual answer is, put me in a weird mindset. So occasionally what it is that it's a problem I can't do anything about except to sit there and be mad at a faceless corporation, which, is a good old-fashioned pastime unique to America. Anyway, I have to get up and go to work, so I'm going to talk to you tomorrow for 5 more minutes.